Is Lewis Hamilton regretting his bold move to Ferrari? With Ferrari sitting fifth in the standings and already facing a nightmare season, critics are questioning his decision. But Hamilton isn't backing down. He's slammed the media's negative reactions and reaffirmed his full faith in Ferrari. Despite early struggles, including a disastrous Australian strategy and a disqualification in China, Hamilton is in it for the long haul. Ferrari may be in crisis, but Hamilton believes in their potential. Can Ferrari turn it around before it's too late? Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. The criticism has been relentless. Questions about whether Hamilton is regretting his move. Pundits speculating about trust issues between him and Ferrari. Even former Aston Martin strategist Bernie Collins suggested Hamilton might already be losing faith. But Hamilton? He's not buying into the negativity. He's outright slamming these claims as complete rubbish. And he's making it clear he's in this for the long haul. Speaking ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix, Hamilton didn't mince words. I saw someone say something about whether I'm losing faith in the team, which is complete rubbish. I have absolute 100% faith in this team. That's as direct as it gets. No frustration, no doubts, just a firm belief that this is part of the process. He's also calling out the critics for their knee-jerk reactions. People just love to be negative at any opportunity, even with the smallest things. That's just the difficult time that we're living in. And he's not wrong. The F1 world moves fast, and patience isn't exactly a common virtue. But Hamilton isn't playing that game. He knows success at Ferrari isn't going to happen overnight. Ferrari fans were full of hope heading into 2025, with Lewis Hamilton's shocking move from Mercedes sparking dreams of championship glory. But just 2 races into the season, reality had hit like a freight train. Ferrari is sitting in 5th place in the constructors' standings, trailing even Williams. And if that wasn't bad enough, they endured an absolute disaster at the Chinese Grand Prix, where both cars were disqualified after the race.
Breaking Formula One news today that both Ferrari drivers have been disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton finished 5th and 6th, but their cars both failed.
Hamilton's debut at the Australian Grand Prix was already shaky, with Ferrari botching their strategy and changing weather conditions. But China? That was unexpected. Hamilton looked like he had turned things around, grabbing the pole for the sprint and converting it into a victory, only for the FIA to step in and strip him and Leclerc of their points after the main race. The reason? Excessive plank wear. The backlash was immediate, with critics questioning Ferrari's technical execution and Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes for a team that was struggling this badly. The media frenzy was relentless, but Hamilton wasn't having any of it. His response? Unapologetic, fired up, and taking no prisoners. The F1 media has gone into full meltdown mode over Ferrari's early season woes. Every headline screams crisis. Every pundit is dissecting Hamilton's decision to leave Mercedes like it was some massive career mistake. But is all this drama warranted? He reacted to the media's response saying, "I think there was a huge amount of hype at the beginning of the year, and I don't know if everyone was expecting us to be winning from race 1 and winning a championship in our first year. That wasn't my expectation. Ferrari is a team in transition. Big changes take time, and 2 races don't define a season. Let's be real, Ferrari's start has been bad, but bad enough to call the whole Hamilton-Ferrari project a failure already? That's just ridiculous. Yes, their strategy in Australia was a disaster. Yes, the disqualification in China was humiliating. But let's not forget that Hamilton dominated the sprint race. He had the pace, the skill, and the execution. He expressed his emotions after the chaos. I didn't feel like any frustration or anything afterwards. It is what it is. The SF25 is unpredictable and can surprise everyone. So while the media loves a crisis, the reality is that Ferrari's problems aren't easy to overcome. Gunther Steiner, former Haas team principal, had an interesting take about Hamilton saying, "As soon as he does something, he catches the attention of everyone, right? It's something brutal. It's Lewis Hamilton." George Russell has already scored a podium, but barely anyone is talking about it. Why? Because Hamilton isn't there. Switching teams in F1 isn't just about learning new faces, it's about understanding a completely different car philosophy, a different way of working, and in Ferrari's case, a different culture. He expressed that it's not easy moving to a new team that works completely differently, completely different characteristics of the car. You don't just jump in and it's good. He brought up an interesting comparison. Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso also needed time to adjust when they joined Ferrari. Both had early flashes of brilliance, but neither won instantly. Success at Ferrari isn't plug and play. It requires time and patience, something a lot of critics seem to forget. Hamilton is playing the long game. He's analyzing, learning, and already making notes on where Ferrari needs to improve. He's not here for quick fixes. He's here to build something. The question is whether Ferrari has the time to match his ambitions. Amid all the chaos surrounding Ferrari's start to the season, one of the most important factors in Hamilton's transition has been the support he's receiving from both Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari team. Despite being teammates, Leclerc has made it clear that he sees Hamilton as an asset rather than a threat. Leclerc has spoken positively about Hamilton's influence within the team, praising his experience and work ethic. The Monegasque driver acknowledged that while the start to the season hasn't been ideal, Hamilton's feedback has been instrumental in Ferrari's understanding of their weaknesses. Leclerc said, "We are learning a lot from each other, and I think that will only make us stronger." From Ferrari's perspective, team principal Frédéric Vasseur has doubled down on the team's commitment to Hamilton, emphasizing that they are fully behind his integration into the team. The leadership at Maranello is adamant that this is a long-term project, not a short-term fix. The question now is whether this unity will translate into results in Japan. If Ferrari can iron out their early season issues, the Hamilton-Leclerc partnership could become a formidable force. But if the Japan race goes on like previous campaigns, things could get very interesting. So where does Ferrari go from here? Sitting in 5th place in the championship is unacceptable for a team of their stature. But the season is long, and despite the rough start, all hope isn't lost. Hamilton has already identified areas where the team needs to improve, and Ferrari now has to prove they can respond. The sprint win in China showed there's potential in the SF25, but it's Ferrari's race day performance that needs the most work. If Ferrari wants to turn things around, they need to nail their strategy calls, improve their car's consistency, and most importantly, avoid any more regulatory missteps like the one in China. The upcoming races will be crucial in showing whether they can climb back into the fight. Hamilton isn't panicking, and he's made it clear that he's fully committed to this project. The real question is, can Ferrari match his determination? If they don't, this dream partnership could turn into another painful chapter in Ferrari's long list of missed opportunities. So, Ferrari's season has started with disaster, strategy failures, disqualifications, and relentless media criticism. But despite it all, Hamilton remains 100% committed, and Ferrari is standing behind him. But can they turn this around for Hamilton and Leclerc before it's too late? Hamilton knows success won't come overnight, and Ferrari needs time to adapt. But will patience pay off? Or is this just another failed super team experiment? What do you think? Did Hamilton make the right move, or should he have stayed with Mercedes? And can Ferrari fix their issues before the season spirals out of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates from our channel.